I just do me, but they say I'm too much. Chosen one, I don't ever get too fucked. And my mama said I'm special. If I don't trust you, shoot your metro. Future looking bright, nigga got that glow. Professor X, nigga, all the gifts I show. My life like a movie shot off the hit show. Me and blessed hands make a bitch get low. James Willis, DJ CEO. Dave hit record, now we on beast mode. Let's go.
Hello, everyone. This is the Antoinette B Takeover with my special guest, Rosemarie Bay. We're going to do a little girl talk tonight, and we're going to get into her book also.
Excited.
So we're going to do a little talking. We were talking a little bit behind scenes, just talking about relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just letting her know that I've been single for a total of 3 years. Everybody knows that. That tunes into my podcast. And I was telling her how right now I found somebody that I really like. And, we were just talking about relationships and different things like that. And I was just telling her how, I feel I messed up by entertaining a lot of people. Just entertaining more than one person at a time, just entertaining more than one person. And I feel that I really haven't had great success because of that reason. So now I'm talking with someone, and I really like this guy, and I said I was going to stop talking to multiple people, and can you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, Antoinette, for having me on. I'm so honored to be here. And I think it's an important work that you're doing, just being transparent about your own life and being vulnerable and honest. And like we were talking before, with everything that's going on in the culture right now, that's very challenging to do, is to be honest and be yourself. So if nobody else told you, I just want to tell you I'm inspired by you. And just thank you for allowing me on your platform. It means more than you could ever know. But for those of you who don't know who I am, which is probably all y'all, I'm not out here all like that. But my name is Rosemarie Bay. I'm a gospel recording artist. I'm a community activist, a hood preacher, a mother, a former wife, which I think is a conversation that we need to have. I usually don't introduce myself that way, but I think that's important in context of what we're talking about right now. I'm really excited about the movement that I started. I'm the founder of an organization by the name of I Am My Sister's Keeper, which is based in Detroit, my hometown, where I actually am right now. I just came back home from after being gone 13 years. So I believe God called me back here to shine the light on the work that I'm doing, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with the Black femicide movement, Antoinette, but Black people, according to the FBI, Black women specifically, are being murdered every 5 to 6 hours in America. I talked to a sheriff recently, and he says, honestly, Rose, if that's what the FBI is giving, he said it's actually a lot worse. He says because they have to basically lowball that figure as to not exaggerate. So it very well could be every 1 to 3 hours that we're losing a Black woman. And so with that being the case, I wrote a book. I'm having conversations like this because most women are losing their lives and their livelihood, their peace of mind due to partners, sneaky links, babies' fathers, husbands, ex-husbands, and significant others. So we just have to focus on ourselves, raise our standards, raise our boundaries, so we can save our lives and the lives of our daughters.
Yes. So, I was just, kind of talking about, relationships and what I go through.
Yeah.
I've been single. Last relationship I was in, I was engaged.
Wow.
I was with that person for 2.5 years. And we were engaged. It was a good relationship, good man, but he just wasn't the man for me and the person that I needed at the time. So I decided to break the engagement off.
Mm-hmm.
We went our separate ways. We are friends now. We still talk and communicate. We're real good friends.
Yeah.
But marriage just wasn't in the picture for us. So we decided to go our separate ways. And I'm grateful that I'm still able to, have him in my life as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
But I just need to I'm 41, trying to get in a relationship.
Yeah.
Well, trying to be married one day.
Yeah.
And I just need to get rid of my bad habits. I have a lot of bad habits, and that's what entertaining, like I said, multiple people at a time. Not sexually active with these people, but dating. When people say, "Well, dating is dating," yes, dating is dating, and when you're dating, you're not committed to one.
Yeah.
Well, if you're constantly dating more than one person, how can you get to know one person? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're dating multiple people. You have to keep up with this and keep up with that. And that's where I was at.
Yeah.
So I sat down and I said, this new year, 2023, I was going to start setting some boundaries.
That's good.
I was going to start focusing on that one person
Mm-hmm.
that I really like. And I said that I was just going to do it. That's something that I don't do. That's something that I haven't been doing.
Yeah.
And I said I was going to see how that worked.
Good for you, sis.
Yeah. So right now, I'm trying to focus on that one person, just being with one person.
Mm-hmm.
And really it's not hard. Like I was telling you, I went down my phone list and I just started blocking people.
That's good.
I just started blocking people because I don't want people to have access to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people to when they're bored, or
Yeah, exactly.
when they want to have company, or when they feel like they want me in their life, they can pick up the phone or they can send me a text.
That's
And
good.
then I come running. I don't want that. I don't want for somebody to say, well, let me see what she doing today. This is the person that I'm going to talk to today. And
That's
then tomorrow, I'm hanging out with you thinking something, that we're building and something is going right. And then you turn around and you're doing the same thing with someone else.
yeah. This is just my day. You're gonna do this with somebody else tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just too old for that.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing that. And then I'm realizing too that I need to stop doing that to people.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do. I picked up the habit from people doing that to me.
Yeah.
I picked up the habit of doing that to men.
That's so deep, Antoinette. First of all, I'm floored at the level of disclosure that I'm getting, on this live platform, like you being so transparent. And that's what's really missing from the conversation, I feel. Because it's a gazillion, podcasts. I call it the podcast mafia, and people are blaming men solely, or they're blaming women, when in all actuality, all of these podcasts need to be a platform for accountability, for us to really, really take out a mirror and see how we have contributed to the dating pool being full of pee. Because that's really honestly what's going on. Like, the streets are not safe. These dating streets are not safe, and so even it goes back, because when I hear you talk, right, I'm highly intuitive to a point. Like, I'm learning more to be in tune with the Holy Spirit and with myself and with those around me, because truth of the matter is we need each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you look like, but aside from these cameras, if we was to go out to brunch or whatever, and maybe your breath smell bad, garlic, or you walked out the bathroom and you had some tissue on your feet. We need each other to stay clean, to stay protected, to navigate in this life properly. You need partners, platonic, romantic, sometimes business, financial, spiritual, the whole nine. We need each other. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to be aware of what time it is that reconciling this whole dating thing, which is why what you're doing is so powerful. Okay. Reconciling this whole dating thing is a matter of life or death right now, because what you're having right now is people getting in relationships. Our mental health is already fragile, and they get into, people don't understand the high stress of being in close quarters with somebody that's truly not your person. You married to somebody else's husband, you shacking up with somebody else's wife. Like, this is somebody else's special person. And we didn't take the time to properly vet each other, because we don't know ourselves, because Black kids were raised on trauma and dysfunction. And so we take all this trauma and dysfunction. And look what you even said. Like, I'm picking up bad habits from dudes that I've dated. Like, okay, well, two can play that game. Speaking of which, the media has helped to perpetuate what we see. You know what I mean? All of this nasty, traumatic, dysfunctional entertainment we've been fed over the past 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Friday, Players Club. They got 3 Fridays at that. You know what I'm saying? Two can play that game. and all of this type of stuff, it fed in. And then the music, you know what I'm saying? It was never like this. I mean, you think about the music, a chair is still a chair, even when one's not sitting there. But a house is not a house. But a house is still a house, but a house is not a home.
Right.
If you're not there, when I get there and turn the key, tell me you still gonna be there, saying that you still in love with me. And you,
Right.
even when they wanted to make love to a woman, I mean, you had Rick James and Prince, who was a little nasty and pushed the envelope, but it was just them. Everybody else was on some Teddy P, you know what I'm saying, some Luther Vandross, some Lou Rawls, and things of that nature. And it was really about loving and, let's stay together. I'm tired of people breaking up and making up. And so we've come a long way, and we are just pointing the fingers at each other, and we've not stopped to look at the path that we've walked up into this point and all of the pitfalls and the traps, that
Mm-hmm.
for us, that we still are healing from. So I just thank you for the work that you're doing. And I know we just kind of all over the map, just kind of being free and just talking, but I really hope for your listeners and your viewers that they understand it is a national, international emergency. What's going on in our communities, what's going on with our families, because the families and relationships are broke down. Our kids are not safe. You build a strong nation of Black people, one family at a time. You know what I'm saying? Families make up communities. Strong communities make up strong cities. You know what I'm saying? Strong cities make up good regions. And so when you go to Baltimore and Houston and Atlanta and Chicago and Detroit and the 5 boroughs of New York, it's a family problem. It's a man and a women relational problem. And we have to get this together. Stop pointing fingers and do what you're doing, sister, and say, yo, I was playing too many games. I was entertaining too many people. Let me get this block list. And get a
Right.
block, get a block. Everybody get a block.
Yeah, and I had to do that. I had to set boundaries because if I let everybody have access to my life, it's draining.
It is, ain't it?
It's draining. And I said 2023, I was going
Come
to
on,
be able to relax more.
turn
You
up.
know, relax more, just get to find myself
Yeah,
and just, love myself more.
that's good. That's so good. I was thinking about that when you were talking, because I know you wanted to talk about my book. And I'm just saying this because I'm glad you said that. Like, I want to relax more, get to know myself more. When you were talking about focusing on your person, that you're dating, I wanted to remind you, you know what I'm saying, and whoever's listening, to make sure we're focusing on us too. You know what I'm saying? While we're focusing on these people that we're building with and that we're courting or dating or whatever, to make sure that we're intentional about self. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And love of self and reconciliation of self. So I think that's major, and I don't want people to skip over that's exactly what you're doing. You focusing on yourself, and you go with you everywhere. And our mental health as a community has been so bad that we don't really understand. It's not the job, that we don't got enough money. It's not our baby's dads. It's not our baby's moms. It's not the children or not having daycare, not being able to travel. It's us and the decisions that we've made and the decisions that we are neglecting to make, like you're doing. You cut
Mm-hmm.
off. It's 100 people that could be listening to us right now, sis, that know they should be blocking some people, but
Right.
they're afraid to be alone, or they're afraid of that person rejecting them back. Like, oh, I didn't want to have nothing to do with you anyway. Like, who you think you are? Like, whatever your fear of calling that person, or not even calling that person. Some people you may just need to ghost and pray that God heal their heart, because you don't have the
Right.
heart to really reach out to them and say what. It's a lot of people who are in your shoes but are not taking that step. And so I just pray y'all pick up what she putting down, because you're not just talking about, I feel like you're talking to all of us, you know,
Yeah.
for all of us. And we all need to take a look in the mirror and say, yo, I'm playing too many games. And some people maybe not playing at all. Like, maybe you need to come off the bench and, you know what I'm saying, start looking at a few different players and weigh your options, because you've been in the locker room for too long. You know what I'm saying? But Antoinette, like, I've been playing too long. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to hang it up. I'm about to hang the jersey.
Yeah.
Some
Cause
people,
I want to be married one day,
come on,
and
yeah, yeah, I honor that. But yeah, just find out where we are. Are you like Antoinette, and you've been playing for too many teams? They've been trading. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't doing this no more. I'm gonna get the ring with this team. You know, or are you somebody who ain't even entered your name into the draft yet? Like you haven't even got a jersey, or maybe you got the jersey and you just, you know, you still suited up and you scared to start. Wherever you at, understand where you are. Especially like I love what you say, Antoinette. I made the decision 2023 is gonna be the year for me to get serious.
Right.
It takes a decision. That one decision, if you be consistent, which I believe God you will, is gonna drive every decision you make after this, and it's gonna get you a desired outcome. And all you gotta do is choose, y'all. I pray whoever's listening to this live and in the replay that y'all just make a decision. Like, you know what, I'm scared. I ain't talked to nobody in a long time since my husband left me or since my wife broke up with me, cheated on me, my best friend. I'm so scared. Oh, come on. The streets is waiting. We want you out here. Come on. And somebody
Right.
around too much. You feel me? And you want to slow down, like my sister said. Just know where you at in your journey and govern yourself accordingly. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I know that's right. That's good stuff, sis. So let's get into this book. This February month for you.
Oh, let's go.
Let's get into this February month.
February is F boy free February because I already know a lot of y'all are scared. A lot of y'all are scared, and you like, am I gonna get the call to get food out? Am I gonna be called to get this whole romantic February 14th getaway, or is it gonna be somebody else? So some of y'all are gonna find out that that's the one. Some of y'all gonna realize that it's not. Some of y'all are gonna find out that you a side piece, and he gonna go public with his main person. He dribbling, several other, options, and you gonna find out you was not the first pick. And so there's a lot of contention around these times of year. In Ohio and in Michigan, we also celebrate, you know what I'm saying, Sweeties Day, and then there's the holidays, and then there's birthdays. And so I decided with February to just alleviate the stress of some of my sisters who kind of already, they gut is already telling them it's not going to be a good time for them, and telling you, and I actually have a copy of it right here, just focus on yourself. And I'm so honored because that's what you're already doing. Like, that's your story.
Right.
And I'm grateful that you saw that I fit into your story today. I'm so humbled, that you felt like that I could add value today. So thank you, sister, once again. But
You're
it is
welcome.
just focus on yourself, sis. 10 days and 10 ways to recover from and repel F-boy energy. And so what's so crazy about this book, I have men who purchased this book. And they like, Rose, I thought it was gonna be a male bashing book because, you know what I'm saying, you talking about F boys, but I love what you doing. Keep doing what you're doing. This is something for everybody. It's something for everybody. And so we decided to take the themes inside this book, and for the next 28 days, well, 27 now, I'm going live on multiple platforms and just informing people about what's going on. Is it okay if I just briefly go?
Yes, yes.
So what inspired it was I was married for 3.5 years, and my husband left us. And sorry, this is no shade to him, but it's the truth. He left us in the middle of the pandemic, and I had a newborn baby, and, you know what I'm saying, when we really, really truly needed him the most, he kicked us to the curb. And so he was really nonverbal. There was a lot of things that he had going on in himself, and
Mhm.
he's the type of person where he just does not talk about it. I didn't know this. Like, I was totally blind to the fact that me being a talker, as y'all probably could tell at this point, that I was fully engaged and married to somebody who he lacked the emotional intelligence to express his feelings. And his form of communication is not communicating at all. He was just shut down. I just was like, oh, he's just kind of quiet. He's kind of low key. He cool, calm, and collected. I love that. Like, he just, consistently calm. And, you know what I'm saying? He's my peace because I can be real hype. But he was keeping secrets, he was injured emotionally from childhood, and he was injured by me. I've offended him. That happens. That's why, me being a believer, the scriptures say we should forgive each other 70 times 7 in a day. Because just being human around other humans, somebody gonna step on your toe, somebody gonna take a joke wrong. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna speak out of turn. Somebody's sense of humor is different. With your mama joke is not funny because that person's mama just died. Like, you gonna offend somebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's you gotta extend people grace because humans just be human in out here, and we do dumb stuff. And he couldn't see it that way, and he held a grudge, and I did not know it. And he was holding it for a long time. So he just looked at me one day and completely blindsided me and said, "Yeah, Rose, I want a divorce." Like, literally, that's an idea. I clutched all my pearls and said, "What?" And melted into the floor. And I was inspired, and I wrote this book in 14 days. and we published it, and we've been rocking ever since. And it's dedicated to every FY ever loved. You'll see that in dedication. But what I really want to get to is the meat and potatoes of the context of the book. Understanding, Lord, let the words of my mouth and mission of my heart be acceptable in your sight. Understanding that who we are is what we attract. So even for you, Antoinette, and I feel like I want to send you a copy of the book. Just don't even worry about it. Just send me your shipping information. I got a new shipment coming in. It should be here tonight or tomorrow. And when it comes, I'm gonna make sure you get a signed copy, because you need it for where you are right now. Okay, just don't even worry about it. Um, who we are attracts what we have in our life. You are the lowest and the greatest common. You are the greatest common denominator in your life. You are at work. You in the bed. You at church. You at home. You're at the gym. You're everywhere. So your finances reflect your emotional capacity and your spiritual capacity. The people that you attract. If you look at people in your life and they're inconsistent, you are inconsistent. The jury's out. You are inconsistent. If you have people in your life who are not um, sensing your feelings and fulfilling your needs, and you feel that they're very selfish and self-centered, you attracted this person to you. And so the purpose of just focus on yourself, sis, is I call those doors. Because when you think about a house and security, every window, every door, every opening of that house should be secured. Nobody would build a house. Please go sit down. Give me 1 second. Nobody would build a house and not secure the windows and the doors, or forget to put the windows and doors on there. You would have robbers in there. You have animals wandering in there. The elements wander in there. And so we wonder why we try to build things and they don't survive, because they can't survive the elements, because these emotional, what's it called? These emotional frailties, or these emotional openings and gaps. Sorry, 1 second.
We're gonna give her a minute, y'all.
Sorry, y'all. I'm actively mom, and
I
then
know.
active.
Trust me, I'm a single mom. I know how it is.
And so, what these windows and these openings and these doors represent, and I'm grateful for interruptions, because sometimes they get you on a better path than what you were on before. And I feel like I got a little bit more clarity just in that split second. What those doors represent are injuries in our souls that we have not reconciled. See, I couldn't get that until she interrupted me. Most people are walking around with injuries from their childhood. I mean, I've heard stories when I was doing coaching and things of a woman who tried out for the talent show at school, and she's in her well into her 50s and 60s. She was trying out, and I'm sure she won't mind me sharing this story. And the woman, when she was already nervous, she was trying to face a fear of
Mm-hmm.
performing and speaking in front of people, right? Hold on 1 second.
We're gonna give her a minute, y'all. But please make sure you like, comment, share this live today. We also check out the at the bottom, if you want to send a donation to the Hit Show podcast, please do so.
Bless you, sis, so much. Sorry, y'all. This is real life. I meant to say that before. They're always with me, and so they're my co-hosts when I go live on my platform, and a lot of times when I'm with other people. So what ended up happening is she went to face a fear. She wanted to try out for this talent show. The minute she came in, the lady yelled at her and said, "Take off your coat." Now she was already frail, you know what I'm saying, and nervous when she walked in. The minute the lady, she wasn't being mean. You know, older ladies, they can just be a little bit ornery and rough around the edges. She didn't mean nothing by it. But here she is 30, 40, 50 years later, is still having fear and issues with relationships and stepping out of her comfort zone. She said it, Rose, I've been in a box for most of my life. I'm in a box. And let me tell you why. Because somebody did something to me when I was in elementary school, and I have never recovered. Can y'all believe that? And if we're honest, that's the story for a lot of us, whether trigger alert, okay? Whether you were violated sexually, whether you were abandoned, you know what I'm saying? Like a mother or a father didn't come back, or you had a relationship when you were younger, or, you know what I'm saying? You lost a child, or didn't properly grieve, or anything in your life, didn't finish school, anything. A lot of us are still nursing those wounds. So the purpose of this book is to help you identify what that is in your life and to finally close that door. She is so upset. So, chapter 1, forgiving your father, the first F boy you ever loved. And I'm starting with that one because most girls marry or date their dads. So if your dad was emotionally unavailable, if your dad was emotionally abusive, if he was disconnected or unintelligent, meaning he didn't know how to express himself, didn't know how to embrace you fully, didn't help you identify and feel strong as a woman. Because men are supposed to teach their daughters how to pick a good man. They teach women self-esteem. And did you know not having a father is the same as going through PTSD, and it causes mental health side effects, innumerable mental health, because dads provide protection. Their strength, their sound, certain pheromones they release make a woman feel safe, whether that's your dad, your brother, your uncle, the security guard, a pastor giving a sermon at church. Men have a certain makeup and nobody can take their place. And we as women have to tell the truth to ourselves about that.
Mm-hmm.
That every man is not a bad man. That man was just not a good man for you. And understand that our fathers were a lot of times raised by F dudes too. Right? And so they don't know what they don't know. They can't give what they don't have. So I start with day 1, forgiving your father, the first F boy ever loved. Day 2, forgiving yourself. Mind you, this is a detox over a 10-day period. And I promise you, when you walk it out, it works. It works. And you know what I was thinking about, Antoinette? And I'm gonna pass the mic. I'm gonna throw the ball. Whenever, this is what people don't understand, which is why what we're doing right now, and this is not the last time we'll be able to connect. And I believe in God that one day we'll be able to connect in person on conversation. What you're doing right now, Antoinette, I don't know how often you had these girls' nights and these girl talks. I want to encourage you to keep going, because when people want to make a life change or they want to clean up their life, they want to tighten up in certain areas, they always are able to lean on a community. Right. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have drug or alcohol addiction or abuse, you'll go to AA or NA and you'll have this 12-step program and people supporting you and they're pushing you into that. When you want to get physically healthy, what do? You go to a gym and it's sweat in there and it's hot and everybody doing the same thing. And it creates an environment for you to grow. You want to go to church, it's the same thing. Where can we go to detox from F-boy energy? Where can we go to rehabilitate ourselves from relationship trauma? You know what I'm saying? Where can we go and be vulnerable and be honest? And so I'm a yield right there. But yeah, it's 10 days, 10 chapters, forgiving your father, forgiving yourself, learning how to let God be your husband. For single mothers, learning how to let God be your children's father. Day 5, being okay with being alone. Day 6, closing doors from the trauma of your past. Day 7, preparing yourself, because there is a preparation process for your best love, which is why I think you need this, Antoinette, because you said this is the year that you're gonna play big, you're gonna go harder home, right? Ring.
Right.
There is preparation that has to take place, and I'm so proud of you for even starting that journey. Day 8, new beginnings, what to do till love finds you. Day 9, auditing your tribe, which is what my sister even did to kick off this conversation. Again, so proud of you for doing that. And day 10, letting go, understanding that it's okay to let go of the people who let go of you. So and I want to, if anybody reaches out to you and are interested, I want to donate a copy of this to them as well. So that's 2 copies, one for you, Antoinette, a signed copy for you on your journey, and another one for one of your viewers that expresses interest. But listen, I'm fully recuperated from that, and I feel God preparing me for marriage. One dude even proposed to me online and was dead serious. He dead serious. He's like, "Yo, can you do me a favor and ask God if I'm your husband? Because I want you." I said, "Whoa." He's like, "Yep, I can ask." He's like, the first day that I knew like you was the type of woman I wanted in my life, dog. Like I need somebody like you in my life. And I was so honored, but I was just like, oh yeah, it's that time. So like you, I'm putting boundaries together and I'm setting myself up and preparing myself because it's on the way. So I want all of us to get our best love this year if that's what's in God's plan for us. But it won't come without preparation, and it won't come without intentionality.
Yeah. I understand, because like I said, I had to get myself together,
Yeah.
because I knew, me being single for all this time, that I knew it wasn't just me just being single. It was just me, just not really taking it serious,
Yeah.
really not just being a player.
Yeah.
It's nothing else that I can't sugarcoat it.
Deep.
Just really being a player, just really not caring.
Yeah.
And like you said, trauma,
Woo.
family trauma, that plays a big part of it. It's a lot of trauma, not really a lot of trauma that I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
Just, it's a lot of things, that when you growing up, it's just some things that you're taught, hey, you ain't married, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
My mom, I love my mom to death, but hey, you don't have to settle, do whatever you got to do. The traditional, she got married and
Mm-hmm.
stayed married for 20 something years, but that wasn't something that, how you grow up, your mom said, well, make sure you get married, a tradition. Like, we didn't have a tradition. Everything was just played by ear. She just happened to find a good man that she married and was married to for 20 something
Are
years.
they?
No, they end up getting a divorce.
Yeah.
But it was just like you said, my mom just her raising me and her going through trauma with her dad.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? He was abusive to them as children.
Wow.
When you said, the love is not in the house, the
Mm-hmm.
love was not in her house.
Yeah.
So she always raised me, fuck a nigga. I mean, excuse me. You know what I'm saying?
Truth. Tell the truth.
Fuck a nigga. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
And that's real, Antoinette. Like I'm so floored. Whoo. I'm so
Right.
floored. And thank you so much for sharing that. Because we don't
Right.
our mothers, right? Lord help me to say this respectfully. And I know what you mean when you say I love my mama, but this happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our mothers, you cannot, it's like a holy grail. It's like the Black Madonna. It's like that Mary statue in the Catholic churches and they be kissing her feet and stuff. You can't say anything about that sacred position in the Black family. You really can't,
Right.
even if it's toxic, right? Or even
Mm-hmm.
harmful and traumatic. We are not allowed to ask our mothers to take inventory and be accountable. Like, I know this is not a therapy session. I'm a life coach by trade and I partner with therapists. So we'll do stuff like this and be like, okay, there's a breakthrough moment. Like,
Good. Talk about it, sis. Whatever's on your heart. This is open.
this is so fire, sis, because you setting this up so well, like, and you're doing a phenomenal job. And I hope y'all are having a breakthrough moment to understand, like, yo, if you're just joining the podcast, she was talking about how she was playing too many games, you know what I'm saying, and not really settling down and focusing on committing to build with one person. And she talked about like the things that she learned. And you said you're 41, and people don't always know how to connect those dots and to be able to disassociate yourself
Mm-hmm.
from that type of grooming. And I want to give y'all permission tonight, like my sister said, turn it on, like turn the lights on in your proverbial house, like, and I'm pointing to my brain, turn the lights on in there and be like, wait a second, my mom did have a lot of partners, or you know what I'm saying, my dad was a player, like, hold up, like, wait a second.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, connect the dots and understand this is why you may not be able to commit. This is why you are so cold to people. Like, you love them and leave them. It's women and do it and males because
Mm-hmm.
it from somebody. And all y'all got to do, all we have to do, family, is unlearn and relearn. There's always a better way. There is always a better way, and you can always start over. So I just wanted to honor you, Antoinette, because your story is so many of our stories. Your
Mm-hmm.
so many of our stories, and I just want to encourage people to revisit their story. And I'm certain we do that so many times with it throughout the book. You just got to be ready to take the steps. So shout out to you. Yeah, you're gonna eat. Look, you're gonna eat this year. Like, this gonna be crazy. Yeah.
I know. So, this is why I started. Actually, the Hit Show podcast is 4 members, but I have my own
Okay.
on Wednesday nights.
Nice.
We just came back, so we coming back with the fire. So that's why I asked you to come on.
So
So
sweet.
we took like a few weeks off,
Okay.
and we wanted to start back the new year. So we decided to start back February, of course, Black History Month.
Restart. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. So we wanted to start off, of course, in February, Black History Month. We're gonna get on here all, we're gonna have a show Sunday. Our original show is on Sunday nights. It's live Facebook, on all my social media pages.
Let's go.
Twitter, Hit Show Podcast, and YouTube.
Okay.
So on Sundays, I get with my group. Now I'm the only female on there. And it's 3 other men plus myself. And my friend James, I was on like about 6 months ago on his show, and everybody loved it. And he asked me to come on and do my own segment.
Nice.
So with my own segment, I try to have, people on here that I follow on social media that know me personally or don't know me, may know me just through Facebook. Like I told you, I started following you about a year and a half ago when you were on Life Her podcast with my sister Yvette. I started following you because just the energy and the message that you gave. I said, hold on, I gotta follow her, and you really, brung it out. And I said, you know what? From then on, I was just following you. You are an amazing person.
So are you.
And I just want to let you know, this year I'm focusing more on myself. I've always put myself on the back burner. Yeah. Just me being the oldest child. I always take on everybody else. Everybody. And I said I wasn't going to do it. Even with my children. As much, my oldest is 23 and my youngest is 16. Wow. Me being a single mother and me growing up in a middle class family, not really having to go without or not really having to suffer, not eating or none of that. I don't have that story.
Yeah.
I was blessed to be in a middle class family. We always had it. So now that's how I raised my kids.
Yeah.
But now I'm seeing on some things I need to let go. I don't have to carry on the tradition of getting my kids everything that they need and being there at their beck and call, because that's what I'm doing, but it's killing me. It's killing me financially. It's killing me, period. Mentally, financially, mentally, physically. I'm the person that's getting up, doing everything, trying to be there for everybody else. But at the end of the day, who do I have to be there for me?
Yeah.
When I'm out here working hard to feed 4 of my children and 2 of them are grown with their own, and my daughter has her own family, and I'm constantly being at her beck and call, not letting the ball drop, don't want her to see how life is.
Wow.
It's killing me.
Jesus.
It's killing me. Because I'm holding up this whole entire family with me being a single mom and been a single mom all my life, because I was never married with none of my children. So I was considered a single mother. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in a marriage. Me being a single mom, I had to let go. 2023, I had to start letting go.
That's good.
I was telling my friend's mom, this was like in the summertime, she was like, where you been? I ain't seen you around. And I'm like, I just been getting with God.
So good.
I just been getting with God. I've been to a place to where, we were brought up in church. My mom went to church. It wasn't something that was mandatory. If we didn't want to go, okay, I'm gonna go. You don't gotta go. It wasn't something that was mandatory.
Yeah.
And even to this day, it's not even mandatory for my kids. But I said 2023, I wanted to turn that around. I wanted to get with the Lord more because he has helped me through my journey.
Wow.
I am a successful entrepreneur, been a successful entrepreneur for a long time now. I have 3 businesses.
Praise God.
And I've been successful. And by the grace of God is how I'm getting through.
Yeah.
I don't know how I do it every day. With me working and putting time into my businesses, me being a mother, me being a grandmother, me being a model, me being an actor.
Wow.
I don't have time to play around. So, I just start, praying more, meditating,
That's good.
getting up early in the morning, getting with God, dropping to my knees instead of just you know, praying when he or thanking him when he does something good for me.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to get that relationship with him more to where even if I'm not receiving something good, I wanted to be able to be in that place where I'm able to praise him
Praise God.
regardless on whatever life is, you know, shooting at me. I want to be able to get with him always, not just when he has helped me. Thank you, Lord, for getting me out of this bind. You
That,
know, I
that,
want to be able to get with Lord and sit down and have a conversation with God. And I can say in this last year, God has been talking to me and I've been able to have conversations with him.
that's so good. So good.
You
So
know, so I'm grateful for that because, you know, we always get to this point where we're saying, well, thank you, God. I couldn't do it without God. But do you really have a relationship with God? You're only thanking him when he's doing positive things in your life. But I know it's God that has got me out of these tough binds and got me making it
yeah.
because my business is doing good,
Praise God.
but it ain't to where I'm pulling from it. You know, I'm not able to save. It's I'm surviving. I'm
Yeah.
surviving and I'm taking care of everybody around me.
Wow.
But when it's time for somebody to take care of me or appreciate me, it's no one but God.
You know, sis, I'm so glad you brought that out, and I'm grateful to God that you know, you're kickstarting, you know, your awakening, right, and deepening your relationship with him. And that's so vital. And that's my prayer for all of us black women, you know, because I was doing it all myself, you know, and I really thought that divorce was gonna kill me. I really did. I really did not think I was gonna make it out of here. I don't know if anybody ever been so broke. You thought you was gonna die, like you literally thought you was gonna give up the ghost. Like I just was like, like sick, and you just thought I just thought my heart was gonna stop. It was so,
Right.
I just thought my heart was gonna stop, and you know what I'm saying. It was in those moments, my God, today, anything that you have ever seen me do, Antoinette, on social media or otherwise, in these past 3 to 5 years, is because God allowed the fake me to die. You know how that be, like you said, you living for other people. You don't even get to slow down and be you and to do you and to really, really connect with God and do the things that make you happy, the things that you know he told you need to do because you're so busy saving everybody around you. And so it was a lot of that imposter syndrome going on in my life where I didn't even know who I was. And when my ex left me, you know what I'm saying, he took the part of me that didn't even know who he was. Like, I married a stranger, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know who I was. I didn't even know what I liked. People was asking me when it was over, like, well, Rose, what do you want to do? And I couldn't answer that question.
Right.
I could not answer that question. People was literally asking me, well, Rose, what do you like? What do you want? Where are you going? Where do you see yourself? And I literally was stupefied. I was mystified. I was like, I don't know. And even that will make me cry because I'm just like, how are you 30 something and you've been on earth for 3 decades and have no clue what you're doing in your own body? Don't even know your own body. Don't know your heart. Don't know your likes or your dislikes. Have no relationship with self. So how was I ever, like, how could I do this? I felt like I let my kids down. You know what I'm saying? This is not a game, y'all. Like, this is so not a game. Playing around with people's hearts, playing around with your own heart, and letting people in your body, in your space, in your room, dropping your location, telling them anything. Don't even tell somebody your favorite color if you're not even sure that you know for a fact that you wouldn't mind entertaining this person for the rest of your life. Don't even open up that door. People don't be giving people your body. Like, don't even hold hands and walk to the movies. Like, y'all go on a date in a group, especially for those of y'all that fall in love on sight like me. I really, because of my personality type, like you, Antoinette, if we was together right now, we would be best friends. Child, we've been and bought each other drinks, we've been dinner, we be on dessert by now. We would be best friends because I fall in love with everybody on site. You know what I'm saying? And so, saying all that to say, it's vitally important because you did not make yourself. People have these questions: is God real? Is it a male? Is it a female? Whoever you know to be God, you worship that thing until you come into the full knowledge of the truth. I worship the God of the Bible. I tried all these other guys, but he kept coming after me through the scriptures, showing me who he was. And that's so important. even when talking about relationships, because he has, thank you, God, thank you, Holy Spirit. He has a protocol, Antoinette, for everything that pertains to this life. One of my favorite scriptures says, I have given you, Rose, Antoinette, Jackie, Zeke, whoever watching this, I have given you everything that pertains to life and godliness. Everything we need is inside of us, and we don't have to look for other people. We got to spend time. And I heard you talk about meditating. You just spend time in silence, allowing that real you to come to the surface, and it's going to tell you, this is where we need to be. Redecorate. Maybe you need to move. We don't like our job anymore. It's no longer serving us. And I know you can, like, your spirit to tell you this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we have not, and you talk about getting your kids back into it, and it's the same protocol for relationships. Even with relationships, Antoinette, did you know, according to the Bible and the culture in which Jesus grew up, and he was not a fairy tale character, he was a real person that walked the earth thousands of years ago. Historically factual that he was here. When he was walking the earth, they would have matchmakers betroth kids from the time they was young. So if me and you was blood or just play, we grew up in the same pride, whatever. You would have 5 kids, maybe I have 5 or 6 kids. You got several daughters and several sons. We be like, yo, Antoinette, what you think about, Ray talking to my daughter Jasmine?
Mm-hmm.
And we'd be like, well, I don't know. Let's see how it goes. So they'll play around each other. We would intentionally let them get to know each other, see how they play. Are they compatible? Once they get to a certain age, like, know what? That ain't it. What about Jasmine and Sarah? I'm sorry. What about Raymond and Sarah then? And you see that that's a fit. So then what happens is the parents are supposed to this is why you got to do it God's way. What traditionally then what they would do, Antoinette, they would launch their kids out. They would allow the kids to play together. I wasn't there, but if I was there, we would counsel them about the body, about marriage, about money, about running a household and all of the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we send them out. He would come and buy the daughter, because a daughter, because they were self-sufficient, she would represent a financial asset to the family, because say she was responsible for raising the goats. If Jasmine leaves the family, or if Sarah leaves the family, there's a hole there. Nobody's going to be able to raise the goats like her. So they may take a financial hit. He would literally have to get money and pay a price for this girl to say, I want to marry your daughter. And then
Mm-hmm.
build a house that nobody ever lived in. So it's no bad spirits. You ain't got to worry about blessing the house or nothing like that. Him and his father would go and build a house. They would come with a contract and say, this is what I promised to do. I'm going to give her my name. I'm going to protect her. I'm going to give her conjugal visits, meaning I'm going to have sex with her and nobody else. Always going to be protected, loved, cared for, and satisfied. Is it okay if I take your daughter? And they would never struggle with masturbation. Because as soon as they hit their sexual prime, they're like, yo, get these babies married. Let's go. Let's get it started. Let's get it popping. Let's go. Let's do this thing. Let's do it right. We wouldn't have to worry about, sucking on and effing on somebody else's man. And everything was already planned out. They had money. They had the animals. They had the food. They had gardens. They had everything, a brand new house. They had everything. Equivalent today, you would get your kid perfect credit score. You build up their credit, teach them about credit money management. You would get them a brand new house, fully furnished. You would tell them how to raise a family. You would make sure they had their own business and career and education. You would make sure they both have spending money, blow money, savings and mutual funds, trust, all of that stuff, and their vehicles to boot. And then you would set them up for life. And you wouldn't have no kids coming home if you did it this way. We wouldn't have to nurture our kids through these broken hearts. We wouldn't have to financially save them because of the debt. And so that's God's way versus how we're personally doing it right now, currently in our culture. And so people miss that part, Antoinette. I'm just here to highlight what you're saying because you're dropping gems. You got to tap in with the man. You have to tap in with him because we didn't make ourselves. We don't even know what it takes to make the next breath come in and out of our bodies. If he shut it down right now, there was nothing neither one of us could do to stop it.
Right.
And so we got to tap in. And like you said, we got to turn it around and get our kids turned on to this so that they don't make the mistakes that we made. That's just how I feel very strongly about that.
And now I'm seeing that, me being 41.
Yeah.
See how long it took for me to realize that. I realized that, you have to get with him.
You do. You do.
You really do. Because he, like I said, he has really got me through some storms where I didn't know that I would be able to come out
Talk about it.
of, you know, abusive relationships,
Okay.
single mom, really blaming myself for not being able to hold down the relationships with my kid's father,
Wow.
not really knowing that it wasn't me, it was them too.
Sure.
They've been through
A lot.
trauma,
Yeah.
abuse,
Yeah.
neglect,
Come on, sis.
and I'm trying to mate with these people and trying to change these people,
Come on.
and it's nothing that I can do because it's the trauma. They
Wow.
never got help for
Wow.
the trauma they've been through as a child.
You
And I
talk.
got with these people and made it with these people, and now I'm left alone
Yep.
to raise my children
Come on.
in trauma.
Wow. Talk about it. Talk about it. And that's the part we skipping over. Like, oh my God, Jesus. Y'all gotta listen to another podcast because everything that Antoinette has said, I don't even know all the stuff I said, y'all. I just hurt. But everything she's saying, literally, if you just took the time to focus on yourself and to realize that everybody out here is broke. On first dates, you need to start asking dudes, what you think about therapy? Because every black person in America, Antoinette, is traumatized, sis.
You don't gotta tell me. You don't gotta tell me. I already know. Don't you see why I've been single? But I had to write down, why am I single?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Why? Why am I single? At 41 years old, a beautiful, successful black woman.
Beauty.
Why am I single at 41 years old?
Mm-hmm.
I had to, I don't know, it just overnight. It just happened overnight. I said, I need to let go. I need to start setting boundaries in my life.
Wow.
I need to stop letting people have access to me.
Mm-hmm.
And even I had started telling people, I had did a podcast. This is why I was on his show. I had did a podcast with my friend James, and we were talking about 50-50 relationships.
Okay.
And we were talking, and he said, so what do you think about 50-50 relationships? I said, well, I really don't believe, I believe in 50-50 relationships when you first start getting into a relationship. But a lot of the relationships I've been in, the men start taking the lead.
Yeah.
It's 50-50. And then when you're with a man, he start, doing more than you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have dealt with people and talked to people and had relationships with people.
Mm-hmm.
And women, we need to stop doing this too.
Okay.
Because we are breaking down our men.
Wow.
I've been talking to people, and even with the person that I'm talking to now and dating, he was married twice.
Okay.
And both times his wives treated him like a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Never celebrated him, never acknowledged birthdays. It could be his birthday and they not say happy birthday. These are your wives.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of men saying, well, I've been with a woman for 8 years, she never done anything for me.
Yeah.
Why do we do that?
Yeah.
Why do we take the tradition of seeing our mother not having to do nothing, because my mother, she's young, she's 62 and I'm 41.
Mm-hmm.
But just seeing, when my grandparents were, how the man took care of the woman and the woman didn't have to do absolutely anything. They had to work. Well, they had to do something. They had to take care of the home.
Yeah.
We're not living in that world anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Women, you have to stop thinking that that's the way of life. Why would you want your man to have to suffer and not help him pay something because that's the traditional way? That's the way your mom told you. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Why do you do that to your man? Why, if I was just seeing on the internet where the lady, no, I think it was the radio, when the lady was like, when the man was like, can you help me out? Radio or some podcast or something. When the man was like, can you give me some help? I'm not working. I mean, I'm working, but I'm paying everything and I don't have it. You know, can you give me a helping hand? She said, absolutely not. You wanted to marry me and you're going to take care of me. Wow. I'm not helping with nothing. You're going to have to figure it out. So if you have to get another job, you have to get another job.
Yeah. Wow. That's so deep.
Why would you do that to the person that you love? Why would you not help your mate?
Yeah.
If he needs help. Of course, a man wants to take care of a woman and say, you know what, you're my wife, I want to take care of you. Mm-hmm. But this day and age, eggs is $7. So, baby, we need to come together on this grocery bill.
That's real.
Or we ain't gonna be able to eat. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you, Antoinette, and I'm gonna get ready to dip off soon. I didn't realize I forgot I have another live cast to do.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. Again, it always for me goes back to foundation, right? And so you said something there. Why would we do that to our husbands? Because we're not in those eras. We're not in that time anymore where a mother can stay home and be taken care of. But we're supposed to be. Certain things don't go out of style, right? It's one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible that says, there is a way that seems right to a man or a woman, but it leads to death. Okay. It used to be called the American dream. And now we're seeing with the current economy, it's the American nightmare, where you'll be a homeowner, you have your 2 kids, wife and the family, blah, woo. And they keep moving the benchmark. They'll say, oh, when you do this, you'll be successful. If you do this, you'll be successful. Go to college. Now people got $250,000 worth of debt for going to school because they realize living in a capitalist nation, oh, they going to tax you for everything. They're going to tax healthcare. They're going to make sure it costs a gazillion dollars to insure your car, to fix your car. It's going to cost a gazillion dollars to keep it gassed up and the maintenance on it. They want to wax you for everything. And so the truth of the matter is, we was running after this so-called American dream when honestly we get to the end of the show and we see it's like a Wizard of Oz. It's all fake. Because what we really want, what sounds better to you? Dragging yourself out of the bed at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning to run your kids across town to school that don't even really like them, especially Black kids. Yes. 1 second, sweetheart. That don't even really like them. I'm really gonna have to go. That school that don't even really like them, to go to a job that you don't even really like, to send somebody else's kids to college. Like whenever you go and work and you building somebody else's empire unless your name is on that building. Or would you rather your husband working from home, you working from home, whether that, and you know what I'm saying, y'all self-sustain, y'all growing y'all's own food, you the steak and the chicken and everything that you eat is something that you grew, that you killed. You know what I'm saying? You got your own eggs, so a $9 carton of eggs don't mean nothing to you because your ducks and your chickens laying your own eggs. You feeling me? Everything is right there. You're homeschooling your kids, and if you don't homeschool your kids, you got a tutor coming that you pay to come homeschool your kids for the same amount that you spending every year to live this American nightmare. It takes the same amount. You know what I'm saying? To manage and maintain this concept that I'm talking about, and that's what's in the Bible. Everybody having their own plot of land, raising their own food, making their own clothes, nurturing and taking care and raising their own kids. And we are responsible for the struggles. We're our ancestors and everybody else. It started somewhere. But you know what I'm saying? We're responsible for getting back to that. You know what I'm saying? Right. We're responsible for, like you said, taking inventory, figuring out what works, what doesn't work, and only doing the things that work. Even if that means you got to pay the price right now. Like I told you before we got started. Thank you, Lord. I'm going to end it just how I started. I told Antoinette before we came on the air, we were talking behind the scenes. I said, half the battle is knowing where you are in your journey and knowing how to get to where you're supposed to get to, right? So for you, you know that you're, like you said, you've been playing around, you've been talking to too many people. That has to change. So now that we know that has to change, it's paying the price to get there. Some nights, if your person is not available or maybe y'all not seeing eye to eye, oh, Antoinette gonna want to pick up her phone and start doing one of these. And you got to have self-control. You have to have discipline, even if you're feeling lonely because y'all haven't talked in a week, God forbid, you know what I'm saying, because y'all not seeing eye to eye, so to speak. You have to sit there in that and walk that process out. And so for a lot of us, we know for a fact that what we're doing is not working, but a lot of people are not willing to make the change because it's so scary and it's so uncomfortable. And so as I close, my closing remarks for my contribution, first of all, thank you again for allowing me to be here. But just figure out where you are and count the cost and pay the price, because you're going to pay one way or another. It's going to hurt one way or another. It's going to hurt to discipline yourself to be better, or it's going to hurt when you get to the end of your life and realize that you've been making the wrong choices this whole time. So that's all I got.
All right. Thank you, sis, for being on. I appreciate you. I'm going to give you the information about the book. If anybody wants the book, please contact me. First come, first serve in the inbox, and then I'll give me your address and I'll get that information over to her. I appreciate you, sis. I'm going to be reading that book. I can't wait to get it.
I appreciate you.
Good luck on your journey. You know, I follow you. I be on them lives, like taking it all in. I be needing that. So I greatly appreciate you, and thank you so much for coming on.
No, I appreciate. Listen, I've done several. I won't say a lot. I've done enough interviews in my life. And sometimes they can be very boring, and I don't really get nothing out of it. This is not gonna be the last time we work together. I'm so full. I've learned something from you. I've learned more. I've even had some revelations about myself, because sometimes people pull things out of you that you can't get out of yourself. And so,
Right.
so much for just showing me a better version of myself and how I can live. So I look forward to partnering with you in the future, sis, for sure.
Okay. All right. Have a good night. All right. All right, everybody. So I'm gonna wrap it up. I hope you got something out of today. Like I was telling everyone, I'm on this journey to where I'm just, starting to love myself over again. Um, Me just focusing on everybody else around me, not really focusing on myself. 2023, like I said, I was going to relax more. I was going to get with myself more. I was going to learn to love myself more. I was going to stop making myself available for everybody else and start loving on me. And it's so important. You have to love on you. I know a lot of times when we have children, we have people in our life that depends on us and that is looking for our support. Sometimes it's okay to say no. That's my biggest thing. I was growing up, I was never told no. My mom bust her ass to take care of me, to make sure that me and my sister had the best of everything. But it risked her health at 62 years old, having to be on dialysis 3 days a week since she was in her 40s. She's 62 years old. My mom is a living testimony. You hear me? God is keeping her here, but she sacrificed her health to make sure that me and my sister had. So my thing is, it's okay to let some things go. A lot of people say that I'm busy. Yes, I'm busy. But if you look at me and you've been following me for a while, you've seen that I've taken a break. I'm not out there as much. I'm not doing a lot of fashion shows. A lot of people inbox me like, "Are you still modeling?" Yes, I'm modeling. But I have to take the time for myself. I can't be at 10 or 15 places like I used to be because I'm 41 years old. For one, I'm overweight. You know, I'm blessed not to have anything wrong with me. Thank goodness. Heart disease running my family, diabetes running my family, both sides of my family. So I have to be able to take these relaxed breaks. That's why we haven't really been podcasting as much. Me and my team, we've been working. I mean, we had to sacrifice. We either gonna be doing this podcast and entertaining people, or we gonna have to take a break and concentrate on family. So we decided, take a few weeks off. We'll get back into it. The month of February is Black History Month. We're going to be coming on here. We're going to be talking about some good Black history things. We're going to be talking about more on my show about mental health, focusing on healthy relationships. um, helping single moms. There are a lot of single moms out there that are losing their life, like Rosa was saying. I mean, Rose was saying, excuse me, that it's a lot of people that's out there that's losing their life, that's in these domestic relationships, really not having nowhere to go. They don't have nowhere to go. Where do you go when you are going through something in our community, when you are going through something and you just need to talk to somebody and you don't want the next person to know? You really don't know, because you can have a friend that you vent to, and as soon as she's mad, then she's telling your business or she's throwing it up in your face. So a lot of people don't really have these things. So 2023, I said I was going to build these relationships with people in our community to where we can get together. And I'm going to be sharing some flyers on some things that's coming up with a few of my friends, where they're having positive women events. Come to these events, come out and network and get to know somebody. This year I want everybody to come out and get out your comfort zone. You know, we may not have something in Akron to do, but it may be something positive in Cleveland to do. You have to stop being a sitting duck. You have to get out there, and you have to get out there, and you have to communicate, and you have to get to live life. A lot of people sit around every day and do nothing. They do the same thing. They go around in a circle and do the same thing because they're scared, because that's their comfort zone. I challenge everybody to get out your comfort zone. Get out of it. Get out your comfort zone and step into a new era. It's things out there, it's positive people out there. I've been out here in this community for a long time, if you know me. I know a lot of people. I've been dealing with industry people in the industry, music, modeling, acting. I've been dealing with community based, where I'm out here helping the kids. I'm out here being a good role model. I have done it all. You have to get out of your comfort zone. If you're looking for love, or you want to be in a relationship with somebody, you have to start setting boundaries in your life. You have to stop making yourself available for people that's not making themselves available for you. I had to learn that. I make myself available for so many different people. And in return, it's like they deal with me when they want to. And just like I deal with them when I want to, not taking relationships seriously. You know, a lot of relationships I used to blame the man, but a lot of times I knew it was me too. Just not taking stuff seriously. Just like if you're in a relationship and you going through something, get with your partner. Stop going behind your partner's back and sneaking and texting somebody else, because that person, you're used to messing with that person for years and you're in your comfort zone with that person. Work on your relationship versus stepping out your relationship in something that you may take that, oh, it ain't nothing. If you in a relationship and you texting somebody else, you're cheating. If you in somebody else's inbox and you're married, you're cheating on your spouse. You should not be in someone's inbox flirting with them, texting them, saying good morning, saying hello, beautiful. You should not be doing that as a married man. If you are unhappy in your relationship, or a married woman, you need to get out of it, because it's not going to do nothing. It's not doing anything for you. You have to focus on yourself, and you have to make yourself accountable. You can't just go around blaming other people. Like I said, the reason why I feel like I've been single for 3 years is because I've been I've been a player. I'm not going to lie. I entertain a lot of people, not having sex, but just entertain a lot of people. How can I focus on one person when I'm entertaining 5 people at the same time? You can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't focus on that one person when you're entertaining 5. You have to set some type of boundaries, because that other person is probably going home to someone else, or you may be that person's sneaky link, And just like you, that sneaky link, they got another sneaky link somewhere too. So my thing is, take care of your mental health. If you got um childhood trauma, take care of that. You cannot be the person that you need to be when you have childhood trauma. When you have childhood trauma, it starts trickling down to your children. You know, like Rose said, she said behind the scenes, our parents grew up where they grew up having to be silent, not really verbal, telling their kids, I love you, not really communicating with their kids. They went to work, they got up, they went to work, they did what they had to do. Me, same thing. My mom was the type of person, she went to work, she took care of us, she did everything she was supposed to do. She was a great mom, but she didn't tell us all the time that, hey, I love you, you know, uh, have a good day. She was focusing more on giving us the things that we need than giving us the love that we needed. And I love my mom to death. She was a great mom, but her mom and her dad didn't use that word a lot. But I knew that my mom loved me, but she didn't use it a lot because her mother and her father, her father was very abusive to them, and her mother had left at the age of 19, and my mom's dad had to raise them. So me not really hearing that a lot, I had to teach myself self-love. Even with my kids, not really giving the hey, I love y'all, this, and that. I make sure that I pour it into my grandkids. Okay, I'm not perfect. I might have made a mistake because this is how I was brought up, not really being verbal and really loving you the way and telling you that I love you all the time. Now I pour it into my grandkids because I see where I messed up at. You see what I'm saying? When you dealing with your kids and you're dealing with your kids and they get to saying stuff that you and the mistakes you have made in life. And then you like, well, damn, you have to rethink and be like, okay, yeah, I did. Yes, I wasn't the best. No parent um was brought up, they like me. I was a single parent. I had my kids young, pregnant at 17, had my daughter at 18, young. My daughter's 23, I'm 41. I raised my kids to be strong people. Thank God that my daughter took after me. She's a strong mom. She works. She works very hard. She's good. When she has my grandkids, I know that she's good. I know she's taking care of them. I know they're eating good because I had her in the kitchen. I had her clean. I had her doing everything that she's supposed to do. And I'm glad that she was able to pick that up from me. But I see some things in her that I made a mistake with. And I could say today, like with her attitude and just certain things that I had, and I might have showed and might have rubbed off on her, that I know that's, not right, and I'm like, well, damn, maybe if I wouldn't have been yelling, because anybody know me, I'm a yeller. I'm gonna yell, I'm gonna cuss, I'm gonna fuss. I may not whoop your ass, but I'm gonna yell at your ass, and that's just me. And I had to reflect to where I have to catch myself. Because sometimes I get on my boys and some things that I say, I may be like, well, damn, I shouldn't have said it like that. And then I started getting them and bringing them back like, hey, let me tell y'all, I apologize. It came out like that, but that's not what I meant. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to think about the things that you say out of your mouth. And I can say that I'm that person with raising my kids. I was always a yeller, yelling, saying stuff. That's just because that's how my mom raised me. But sometimes it's okay not to go with that and raise your kids on how you want to raise your kids. So I'm blessed that my kids are all fine, hard workers and good people. But I know if I can go back and change some things on the way I raised them, that I would. One would be spoiling them. That's one. If I can go back and not give my kids as much as I did, I would do that. Because now at this day of age, and my kids are grown, I'm still holding them up. I wish I would have let them go and let them bump their heads a little bit more. Because anybody know me, I try to do whatever I can for my kids. I don't want them to fall. I don't want them to go without. But I wish I would have let them sacrifice a little bit more so they can understand, so they wouldn't be leaning on me as much as they do now. So when my kids growing up, I bought them all their own cars, you know, um, just putting out the money, making sure when my daughter got her first apartment, I furnished her whole apartment. She just moved into a house. I said, I'm not doing that. I have the money to help her, but why am I doing that? You see what I'm saying? I need to be able to live, because when everybody's gone and when everybody's doing their own thing, who's going to take care of me? No one's going to take care of me but me. So I have to be able to stop giving my kids so much and letting them do what they need to do. You know, right now I'm stuck with a $463 cell phone bill with everybody on my plan. That is just like, why am I doing that? You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want your kids to go without a phone. They need their phone, but they don't have to work for it. Right now, I have a 17-year-old who think he just don't want to work. He just fine with not working. Like at 17, I had a whole job. My mom said, you don't have to work. I'd rather you do school and concentrate on school. But that's just something that I wanted to do. I wanted to have my own money, not my kids. They like, no, I'm going to live off mommy. But it's not happening no more. You just see what I'm saying? You have to let go and take care of yourself. So I hope you got something out of this show tonight. We starting off 2023 on a good note. We talking about good health, good relationships, good everything. Um, we'll be back on Sunday. We're gonna be talking about some stuff. What else I want to tell you? Make sure that you follow me on social media. Antoinette B, that's my modeling page. Antoinette Barkley, Miss Barkley 35 is my Instagram. Make sure that you follow the Hit Show podcast. If you're not following the Hit Show podcast, please make sure that you follow us. We are growing. We are putting people like you on the platform to help you grow. If you want to donate to the Cash App, it's at the bottom of the screen. Anything helps. We're trying to get things going on for you, for your community, so where we can help you, so we can make this a platform for you. Because like we said, like Rose said, we don't have a voice. Where do we go? People are starting to do podcasts because this is the way that they can express themselves. This is the way that they can express themselves in their communities, to where people can watch and so people can learn and to know. And this is something that we want to continue doing. But we can't do it alone. We need your views. We need you to share. We need you to like. It's okay, to share and like somebody else's stuff. It's okay to give a small donation, even if it's $1. If everybody on here that's watching me gave $1, that's fine. We're here to help you. It's therapy for us, but it's therapy for you too. We have tons of people who say, hey, I watched your podcast. I loved it. It helped me today. I hope this podcast was able to help you, to give you a new start this year. This year, we're all about winning. We ain't about to keep on suffering in our community. We're not about to keep on dealing with mental and trauma and people killing people. People are secretly jealous of you and beating you to death. We're not doing that this year. We're going to give it to God. We're not doing that this year. We're not going to be hating on the next person because they doing good. We're going to start pulling people's coats this year and say, hey, sis, can you help me out? Can you help me out? I'm trying to start a business, or I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to get my life together. We out here giving y'all the gems to be able to be successful in life. But first, you have to get with God. That's the first step. It's to get with God and let go. and to know that you can only be here on this earth if you are taking care of yourself and you are sitting back and you are taking those breaks and you are blocking off people. A lot of people say, where you been? You ain't been around. No, I ain't been around because y'all doing the same old shit. I'm not into drinking every day or nothing wrong with it. And I'm not knocking nobody who doing it, but I'm not into that no more. I'm into loving myself. I'm into getting my body together. My mom had her first stroke when she was 41 years old. I can't afford that. I got too much to lose. So I'm all about mental health. I'm all about taking in the right foods and the right vegetables and taking care of my body, getting my skin together and stuff like that. That's what I'm on. You know, I'm trying to be out here and live. I got to be able to help my daughter raise those kids. So I can't be having strokes and heart attacks trying to help the whole world. Because at the end of the day, who gonna come wipe my ass if I have a stroke and I can't use my arm? Nobody but my kids. So I'm not on saving everybody now. I got to save myself. But you guys have a good night. I hope you enjoyed the show. You know, it's always love over here. And make sure y'all tune in Sunday. If you ever would like to be on the podcast, just reach out to the Hit Show Podcast page, inboxes, or you can inbox me on my personal pages. And, you know, we get you on the show. You got a story to tell? We want to hear it. You may think that it's not a story, but I'm pretty sure somebody out there is going through the same thing that you're going through. We would love to have you on the show. So good night, and I hope you got something out of the show.